Key point 1. Have yourself a mindful morning. Many of us often feel that mornings slip away without accomplishing much. Laura Vanderkam acknowledges this state of helplessness, where we have our sights on the clock but tackle less essential activities. Eventually, we sacrifice important, perhaps life-changing, endeavors. Drawing from her personal experience, Laura Vanderkam cites the challenges she faces every morning as a mother and a career woman. Juggling her responsibilities on both fronts, she strives to develop the right state of mind. Like her, we encounter the same problems daily. Even when we get to work in the morning, we cannot help wasting time on less relevant tasks, like replying to emails or rummaging through the internet. By the time the sun rises, the morning hours are wasted, just like our energy. Instead of subjecting mornings to mindless tasks, Laura Vanderkam lists 3 activities to reform them. Organizing morning culture for a career boost. Giving your family the time they deserve. Secluding yourself for a hobby, meditation, workout, or prayer. Mornings can defy the chaos and unproductivity tags we give them. Successful people know the essence of having a productive morning. For illustration, Laura Vanderkam mentions prominent individuals like Steve Raymond, PepsiCo's former CEO/chairman, or James Citron, author and expert on leadership and recruiting whose morning habits contributed to their high achievements. Keep in mind that your morning rituals shouldn't be of the self-flagellation variety. Choose things you actually enjoy. Laura Vanderkam. Many people try to develop a routine but are unable to sustain it. The truth is that you can overcome that problem of inconsistency and cultivate the willpower you need to pull this off. Key point 2. Your willpower is strongest in the morning time. What is the difference between an average and a successful worker? An average worker shelves the most tedious tasks till the evening, worry of approaching them. Eventually, they never reach them under the weight of workday exhaustion. Instead, successful people know that productivity starts when the sun rises, and it's difficult to replicate the willpower that drives our mornings later in the day. Willpower never restocks during the day. Smart use is the only experiment you can put it through. Conventional workers schedule their evenings for workout sessions, but in most cases, it is difficult to make time for exercise, especially when deadlines loom and your nagging boss is at your throat. Instead, people who are serious about working out do so early in the morning. This approach takes discipline, as only the discipline would define morning madcaps. According to the study by Roy F. Baumeister, a prominent social psychologist, willpower drops with respect to increasing exhaustion. To compare, think about how our muscles are also susceptible to fatigue. Similarly, our determination decreases during the day. You may have noticed a parallel between those impulsive lapses that are more common later in the day. If you are sticking to a diet, it is easier to refrain from eating things you shouldn't in the morning. Yet you start cutting yourself slack in the evening as your self-discipline runs dry. Like bodybuilders who endure pain to bulk up, you can develop persistence by diverging tedious tasks into habits. Your self-discipline regularly scatters from work tasks, hard thinking, communication, and online presence. The smartest decision is to crush the most challenging tasks, like working out or boring work, while your willpower is fresh and intact. Eventually, these unpleasant activities become more habitual through endurance and repetition. Once you get to this level, taking on early morning productive activities becomes easier since they are now part of your habits. More so, accomplishing them will no longer require a strain on your endurance, conserving it for other arduous tasks. An illustrative example is brushing teeth. A habit does not demand extra willpower for its completion. Once things become habitual, they operate as automatic processes, which consume less willpower. Roy F. Baumeister, Ph.D. Key point 3. Make prioritization your hitting stone in the morning. For many, morning routines feel fixed. Waking and cleaning up, making breakfast, getting ready, and going to work. This routine does not have to be your reality. You can reorder your mornings to invest time in doing things that are important rather than urgent. Have your job in the afternoon but keep your career in the morning. Home chores, laundry, or lawn mowing seem urgent in our routines. However, most of them are autonomous, thanks to technology. They should not take mind space you can use to focus on more important tasks. James Citron states that we should invest our mornings in critical tasks. He works out in the morning hours himself, waking up before 6 a.m. every day. Notably, 18 of his high-flyer executives also wake up that early to engage in essential activities. Non-urgent but important activities, ye reading, writing, meditation, ye require extra motivation. These activities have the potential to change your life in the long run. However, as you cannot see the immediate results, your willpower allows you to persevere. Therefore, morning is the best time for non-urgent tasks. The most successful people use their mornings to develop any of these three things: their careers, relationships, or themselves. Let's take your career, for example. To build it, you need to spend time on activities you can't usually attend to in your day. You can answer emails during regular working hours. The morning tasks are long perspective activities that require consistency. For example, studies show that writing little chunks every day is more efficient than flooding the page with ink in one sitting. Small steps form a habit. Executive in her company, Debbie Moisession, persisted in promoting a culture of collaboration. As part of her policy, she kept her door open for emergent or common issues. However, with too many daily meetings, Debbie had little time to work on her projects. So, she decided to dedicate her mornings to them. During this time of the day, she didn't need to worry about interruptions. As a result, she spent the rest of the day building the office culture without hurting her projects. Key point 4. Spend your morning well on people who matter. Your relationships are another pillar of a fulfilling life. However, by the time you return from work, exhaustion has already taken the quality time you reserve for the people you love. Hence, why you should use your mornings to build relationships. Whatever your situation is, developing the strategy that mobilizes your mornings is essential. Catherine Beaumont Murphy, a former counsel at Saul Ewing Arnstein and Lair LLP, discovered she had no time for her daughter after working late. Family time is the input you must not negotiate at the expense of love. She later realized that her law firm didn't encourage starting work early. Instead, the company rewarded late working hours. To escape the unproductive cycle, Beaumont changed her routine. She would go to bed earlier to get more morning hours. Then she would spend her early hours with her daughter, who also enjoyed the new morning routine. As a result, this new arrangement influenced the whole family. Everyone woke up early for the family breakfast special. Interestingly enough, Catherine's later arrival at the office did not affect her productivity, as she still worked in line with a late hours policy. Catherine's story inspires us to diversify our mornings. Sex with your partner may sound like a cheeky joke in this context. However, good quality sex requires energy, primarily available in the morning. Besides, maintaining physical intimacy is essential for a healthy relationship. Later, you can organize a family breakfast while everyone's still home. Career and family are two upholding pillars of an accomplished life. Personal development is the third pillar that deserves its piece of the morning cake. Self-care is the first to grant ourselves whenever our responsibilities and commitments become more than we bargained for. When there is a mountain of work for you to do, you begin to deprive yourself of healthy rest to meet deadlines. To practice self-care, you need to identify what you want. Is it keeping fit, writing, reading, meditation, or praying? You can do anything you want to care for yourself by getting out of bed early and making time for these things. Did you know? An average person aged 30 to 45 wakes up by 5:59 a.m., but they still don't start their official duties until 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock a.m. Key point 5. Visualize like there's no tomorrow. But seriously, don't forget about tomorrow. We influence our morning routine. However, we can often hinder progress by holding on to seemingly unavoidable practices. Fortunately, there are 5 habits we can acquire to bring about a change in routine. Let's start with the first 2. Keep records of your time expenditure. Along with mornings, the night is another critical time we often dismiss. What we do before bed affects our state after waking up. Noting the things that consume our nighttime can help spot energy thieves. In other words, we need to identify unavoidable business that makes us stay late. For example, cleaning the house at 10:30 p.m. seems justifiable when there is no time for it during the day. However, The dishes will be dirty in the morning again. Clean windows will not make our life better at this time either. Cleaning can take place on weekends, just like watching our favorite show. Sleep should be a priority. The morning itself can be a huge frustration if wasted on insignificant things. Older children can cook for themselves and dress for school, as well as our spouses. Responding to emails at 7 a.m. is also impractical when no sender expects the answer this early. Recording all the idle activities will teach us to be more aware of the 168 hours we have in a week. Visualize your ideal morning. Ideal morning differs for everyone, based on their interests, cares, relationship status, etc. Visualizing our most useful routine will set a productive rhythm for the rest of the day. We should incorporate whatever ignites us regularly, like yoga, painting, reading, and gardening into our morning routine. Picturing our perfect morning brings excitement in advance. Living it out is using that fire to progress. Laura Vanderkam's morning starts with a run, unless she wakes up in a romantic mood. Then she spends quality time with her family at the breakfast table. She dedicates the rest of the morning to her career, writing a book and an entry for her blog. Find the middle ground between your needs and your aspirations, and build your morning routine based on it. Key point 6. Ignite your manifestations, but beware of a reality check. So far, you've tracked your time for the week and come up with a mental picture of a good morning. It is time to see if you can give this picture life. To figure out the logistics, you need to answer the following questions. How much time do you need to create this ideal routine? What changes can you make to realize this dream? If you want to cook in the morning, you may need to wake up earlier. That means you can no longer keep late nights. A journey without a plan is prone to calamities. Focus on making your morning rituals easier. As you have developed a clear picture of what you want to integrate into your morning schedule, you need to implement it. Squeezing the most use out of your morning starts with a plan. A graphic time division of necessary activities allows us to keep our morning in touch with the rest of the day. Develop the habit. The benefit of adopting one habit at a time is rechanneling our morning energy into productive yet new activities. Tracking our progress is also important, as it takes time to transform new activities into a routine. Learning a new habit is easier when it is enjoyable. If your morning routine includes delightful activities, your motivation to get out of bed will rise exponentially. Always reward yourself upon successful habit acquisition with delicious food, new clothes, etc. Tune up as necessary. Do not set your morning rituals into stone. You can conform them to your new job, location, status, or responsibilities. The crucial thing is that you are making the best use of your mornings. Life is full of surprises. Tossing your ideal routine in the trash is easy if they disrupt it. Hence, your contingencies must have contingencies. Laura Vanderkam had to suspend her love for running while carrying her first daughter. She decided to spend that running time on other self-nurturing activities. After giving birth, Vanderkam returned to her 45-minute run. These adjustments can happen from time to time. Make room for them. Conclusion. Many believe sleeping longer in the morning will help us be more productive. After all, more sleep equals more strength. It is hard to overlook the importance of rest, and sleeping is the best way to do that. However, we get this idea wrong. We need to go to bed early and get up early. Sometimes, when asked what we did during the week, we can answer one thing: work. We do much more than that, but other activities slip beyond the scope of our awareness. The morning is when we reach our peak productivity. It is time to grip our awareness from dawn. Our creativity is brimming and ready to be used. Certainly, it is difficult to change our ways to appreciate the beauty of the morning, but it is worthwhile. Dedicate your morning to the activities that will help you grow professionally and personally and improve your relationships with loved ones. The key point here is not to postpone these until later in the day or worse, the evening when we are utterly exhausted and numb from the day's work. Experimenting with our morning routine is already a great exercise for your brain. Adopt several important morning routines like meditating or working out, spending quality time with your family over breakfast, or reading up on the newest trends in your professional sphere. In the morning, our willpower is much stronger than in the evening. Thus, the wee hours are the best time to improve your life. Try this. For 1 week, record everything you do during the day per hour. You don't need to calculate the minutes. Estimate the time roughly. Sort the activities into important and unimportant ones. Try to cut the time you spend on the unimportant ones to make room for the other group.